What is up? Just got through doing a clutch job. So now I gotta clean up all my tools. And for those that doubted the power of that Carlisle, that Joker is amazing. So it will do that deal. It's bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. And I've got messes everywhere. So how is y'all's day? It is a bad boy. It is a real bad boy. I know, but I'll put it this way. We pulled a yoke nut off, and usually the Milwaukee will hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer, and sometimes it'll get it off, and sometimes it won't get it off. But I actually videoed this one because we wasn't sure if it would come off or not, and it hammered maybe 5 seconds, and then it started moving. The initial hit on that thing is unreal. Like the first few seconds when it hammers, it's unreal how hard it hits. I've never seen anything short of a pneumatic hit that hard. The first 5 or 6, they're bad. They're bad. They are bad to the bone. Oh well. People judge me all the time for cleaning my tools, but they don't pay my tool payments either. Like even this down in there, yeah, I get that out. When they pay for my tools, and they're paying for my shop rent and all my bills, they can tell me what to clean or what not to clean. So, if anybody wants to buy all my tools and pay me back every penny that I've invested in them, and they want me to leave them dirty, hey, I'll leave them dirty. I don't care. Write me a check. We'll both be happy. And I'll have dirty tools. Man, yeah. I like them to look good too. I like when I open my drawers and all. They don't look like somebody done dropped them in an oil bucket. Cause I clean them. Like, clean them. A lot of money. Just these wrenches right here, 25 to 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, and a 19. How much y'all think that would cost just to buy those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrenches? I figure they for at least 35, 40 bucks a piece. Putting them up dirty. Ain't no way I'm putting them up dirty. Philadelphia. I need to come up there and eat me one of them cheese steaks. That's where it all started with it. I'm dirty as a pig. Look like I smeared my makeup this morning. Smeared in my makeup. For those that doubt tub of towels, let me show you this right here. Can you see how dirty that is? one wipe. Bam. Those are the greatest things ever. I live by these jokers. My tool fetish is ratchets. I love ratchets. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. Oklahoma. Home of the 405. You close to them? Oklahoma City? Them boys got some fast cars out there. Everybody in Oklahoma got fast cars. Ohio. Wally's allergic to tub towels. He just seemed to be dirty. Leaving dirty. Yeah, Robert, bring them on up here. Shoot, man, I like to clean tools up. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I done wiped this and some muscle back's loose on it. See that? There, good as new. Good as new. Got my rubber. Maryland. That's a good ratchet. You're gonna be happy with it. That's a terrible way to look at it. Terrible way to look at it. Heck no, I ain't giving that Carlisle gun back. That bitch is bad to the bone. That's the baddest battery impact I've ever put in my hand, by far. Like, I thought the Milwaukee was bad, dude. Yeah, I thought the Milwaukee was a bad dude. That Carlisle, man, that thing hits like a ton of bricks on the first couple of licks. If it ain't gonna get it loose in the first 10 seconds, you might as well get a 1-inch impact on it. A pneumatic one, cause it ain't coming loose. Cause that's a bad dude. We did a whole transmission today. Took a yoke nut off. Took the nut off so we could replace the hanger bearing. But every bit of this, and it had 2 bars of battery when I started, and I still got 1 bar left. So that's a bad impact. I mean bad. They're saying these will be out at the end of December, 1st of January. They still got some, I guess, some fine tuning and tweaking that they're trying to do to them. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know what else they could do to this thing to make it any better, because this thing is bad. Bad. It's a little on the heavy side, but as expected, you know, of course, that's what I said about the 1/2-inch Milwaukee too. It's kind of heavy, but as far as working, yeah, you don't need an impact no stronger than this one. Not at all. It's plenty strong enough for anything most people would ever need to do in a regular automotive application. Maybe if you're building bridges or working on bulldozers, having to take those rusty track bolts and crap loose, it might not would do what you need it to do. But you shouldn't be using a 1/2-inch impact on that anyway. But for everyday things that you should use a 1/2-inch impact on, like usually we use a 3/4-inch pneumatic gun or the 1-inch on the yoke bolts. No, I said, I'm gonna use this one today. And busted it right loose. So I was extremely impressed with that. This gun is very, very, very strong. And I was really surprised at the battery life. You know, this is the first time we've really put it to a test where we've used it on multiple fasteners in a real life application. And the battery life was, I was well pleased with it. When you can do a whole transmission job out and in with one battery, that's plenty for me, guys. If I can do a transmission out and in with one battery, and like I said, that's a 2 amp battery. 2 amp. I'm pleased with it. I think Carlisle, they did a home run with this one. They did a good job on it. So, and this has become my new favorite light. This thing runs all day long. Of course, I turned it off when I got out from under a truck. You know, a lot of people leave them on when they eat lunch or whatever. I don't do that, but I stayed on all day. So that wireless charging light, well pleased with it. And I dropped it in a bucket of oil when I was draining the transmission fluid. I hit it with my extension, and it went in the bucket of oil, and it still works. So, pleased with that. And this is, I gotta move some stuff first. Hang on. And this is what I like about it more than anything. Now look what I got in here to work on. Woo! This is what I like about it. You get ready to charge it. Bam. No plugging no cords up. No trying to line a cord off in a, you know, plug it up and flip it the right way. I like that. Very nice. Somebody asked me something, I missed it. Something about. Whew, Mike, I don't know how many lights I've got. I've got a bunch. Of course, each one of them, I kind of have a light for the job that I do. Like, I know that kind of sounds stupid, but I haven't found the one perfect light that does everything. Underneath a truck, I like a small light like that one, and that way I'm not banging it around, hitting it on stuff. For most other jobs, like engine related jobs, this is my favorite light. This one is my favorite light. I love this light. Now when I'm doing like under dash work and stuff, my favorite light is still, I've said it a million times, still the OEM. I like the way that light works. I like working underneath one, or if I'm under a bunk doing electrical work under a sleeper bunk, that's my go-to light. It's kind of weird. You'd think one light would fit them all, but it don't. I have different lights for different jobs that I like. And there comes my boss lady. She came in here and cracked the whip on us today at lunchtime. She's like, y'all get back to work. Sitting on that butt, ain't making no money. I'm like, Lord, I'm just trying to catch my breath. I was dragging from picking that clutch up. And she's like, get your butt back under there and you get to work. So, Look at that. All of those tools was cleaned with one tub of towel. One. Now it'll take me like 2 or 3 to clean. But
I know what you're fixing to say.
it'll take me like 2 or 3 to clean that. But y'all can see, tub of towels work. I cleaned all those tools. Should be what? I don't know if I should be offended. Oh, there's Cross Key, my hero.
Do I call you Cross or Key?
He may be like Chris Cross. He may want to be Key Cross. Which is it? Cross Key. I almost said your other name.
Your alias.
Your alias. Woo, $10. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have to buy more tub towels.
Have I ever showed y'all my tub of towel stash? Like, I buy them by the case. Everybody thinks I'm joking, but the Amazon guy will come in here with a whole case, and they come in a white box and it says tub of towels on them. And I know he probably thinks I'm some kind of weirdo, or maybe he thinks I resell them. I don't know. But let me show y'all my tub of towel stash. Leave all my junk. Y'all ready? Bam! There's 5 that's left out of my last order. I am a firm believer. You can buy them at Home Depot and the Walmart. You can. I buy mine off of Amazon. I used to buy them at the Napa, but they never did have enough. Like they wouldn't have but just a couple of buckets. And now that I got Bill on them, so we're doubling up on the tub of towel counts. So we'd run out. And the Napa wouldn't have them. It'd take 3 or 4 days to get them. And I'm OCD. Dang, Robert should have bought every one of them I had. I wish they did have showers and tub of towels because they are awesome. I don't know what's in them. Like, the chemical won't hurt you. Like, I've cleaned my face with them, cleaned my hands with them all the time, and they don't hurt you. I don't know what's in them, but they cut grease, but they don't hurt you. So, whatever they got figured out works. No woman in the world more beautiful than a Southern woman. That's true. I agree with that. I agree with that. Plus, a woman's got to know how to make sweet tea and cake and biscuits. You got to know how to cook biscuits, fried pork chop, and chocolate gravy. There's probably some guys in here right now wondering what chocolate gravy is. But chocolate gravy, if you ain't never had chocolate gravy, you need to try chocolate gravy. Because if you, Shasha done snapped somebody. Snapped.
Yes, chocolate gravy is awesome.
Chocolate gravy, good.
I knew a lady that used to make tomato gravy, but to me it just looked like condensed tomato soup that you get out of a can.
I'm not a
too wild
tomato
about
gravy
that.
fan. I've tried it a couple of times, but I don't really like it. Of course, about the only tomatoes I like is fresh, real tomatoes, like garden tomatoes. I won't hardly eat that Wendy's crap tomatoes and stuff like that.
The white anemic ones.
The white anemic ones. It looked like they done been throwing up for 6 months before they went to the store. Man, you're from Alabama and ended up in Ohio. I hope that's a job, a good job for that to happen. Oh man, I had a bunch of tools, bunch of wrenches, bunch of impact sockets. I don't hardly ever use regular impact sockets. I use most of the time the universal impact sockets are my favorite. That way I don't have to be precise. I can be lazy, and as long as I shove it up on there, it's going to work with it. That's why. See, at least I admit I'm lazy. Even if I can get to it easy, most of the time I still grab a wobble socket just because it's easier. It's easier. If y'all don't have any one of those silicone mats either, I'm going to get some of these. These things are nice. Really nice. I love them. Sure make it easy. Make life easy.
Matthew, he didn't roll it. He was just putting it to sleep. It's getting late.
Roll it. What's he talking about?
He said a Schneider driver rolled over a 55 and 240.
Oh yeah, he just letting it take a nap. Letting it take a nap. Yeah, these I know these are like I think the other ones, the orange ones, was probably the originals, but these are a whole lot cheaper. And it's a silicone mat. How much better could one be than the other? This one's made in Canada. The other ones are supposed to be an American-made product. I don't know. I bet there's some Taiwan kid pouring up molds full of these mats somewhere. They're probably shipped over here. I may be wrong. Who knows? I did think the orange ones. It's a veteran-owned company though. I believe the guy's a vet that owns it, and I should support them. But like I say, these are way cheaper. And to be honest with you, I wasn't sure that I would like these at first until I used them the first time, and now we won't do a job without using them. So it don't matter what it is, because like you can take all your tools and roll them up in it, total them off. Nice. Keeps all your crap from getting lost and keep from rolling over it with a creeper. Very nice.
Smells like y'all been doing burnouts in here.
We had to cut that swinger bearing off, so it does smell like we've been doing burnouts. Actually, I think that's what I need to tell Joe Gonzalez. That's his truck. I did a video with him. He's the Matco dealer in the town south of here. And him and Michael's good buddies, and his truck's in here for service. That's what I should have done, is had it all smoked up in here and called and told him that we've been doing burnouts in the Matco truck. He's a super nice guy.
Matthew wants to know if you got the auto clutch done.
Did, Matthew. And extremely impressed with the Carlisle Impact. Extremely impressed. Had 2 batteries when I saw it. We ended up taking the yoke nut and everything off. And had 2 bars of battery when I started. We did the whole job out and in. And then still had 1 bar of battery at the end of the day. And it takes the yoke nut off. So, strong. Strong. Yes, you can use the Maximus 3.0. We didn't have to because the Bosch would do that truck because it was in a Freightliner. It's a little older model Freightliner. The Bosch will do it. JRC 54. But yeah, I'm extremely impressed with it. So they do a great job. Fabulous. Uh-oh, bought your first Snap-on roll cart. Man, it's like crack. It's like just hit that pipe one more time. Just try it. Just try it. You're hooked now. It's all over with. All over with. All over with. I am too, Matthew. I'm gonna say if it's even comparable to the Milwaukee, it's well worth the money. Because man, it's strong. Like the funny thing is, like the video I did don't even show it, do it justice. Like as soon as that thing hits, like bam, the amount of torque that it comes out of the gate with, it's kind of like a bull. You know, that initial burst is just unreal. I had that 36-inch extension and taking Bellhausen bolts with it out on that transmission, which I need to find it and clean it. Be right back. But this is it. 36 inches, half-inch to 3/8 locking. Now, most of the time, the Milwaukee will hammer just due to the lateral torque loss of all of that twisting through that length of socket or extension. You know, it'll hammer and then zip, come out. The Carlisle, it will remind you of a screw gun. Like it goes, brr, brr. You don't even hear it hammer. Just the initial burst of that thing firing up, and it's over. So, it's bad. It has a strong hit at the beginning of it. And it hammers hard too. Like you can feel it when it hammers. It hits hard, hard. Hits hard.
Does that extension have a part number in it? And who makes it?
This one's a Matco. It does have a part number. It's a USA made Matco. CXP33BBL. Maybe it's a 33 inch extension. Sorry. I can tell you. Yes, it's a 33. I also have another one that is a half-inch to half-inch locking extension. I think it's 36. Now here's where I cheat big time. On day cab trucks, I'll put that on the end of here, put my impact over there, my 16 millimeter socket on this end, and I will lay down on the catwalk and reach up there and broop, 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 take all the Bellhausen bolts loose without even getting underneath the truck. So That's cool. I'll tell you that little old Matco gun. Man, that little son of a gun. It's bad. That's a bad dude. I started to use it today. But honestly, I wanted to see what the Carlisle would do, how it hold up. Well, I would have bought mine from Snap-on, but he didn't have one, so, and I needed one, so I just got it from Michael. That's kind of how I do, and I'm that way with Napa too. Like, I've gotten worse, like way worse, as times went by. Like, I would call Napa. Oh, man, that black shit all over me. I'll call Napa, and a lot of times they'll say, "Napa, please hold, click." Okay, I hang up and I call AutoZone or O'Reilly's and get my parts. I ain't being on hold, you know. We spend $9,000 a month with Napa. They're gonna bring me my damn parts. I ain't being on hold. Well, I know, Matthew, I agree. But I also have to say, is the toolbox is overrated? They are. You think about, let's step back and take, I'm a Snap-on fan and you're a Snap-on fan, everybody else likes Snap-on. When you step back and look at the whole picture, let's say list price for bills, hutch, and box. It's like 18 grand. No way. No way. That box is not worth that. Mm-mm. The only way that box will be worth that is when you open up the drawer and have little micro U's that are fully trained and they grab your tools and run around the trucks and do all the work for you. And you just have to stand there and wait and pick them back up and set them in the drawer. That'd be the only way that box would be worth that kind of money. Because at the end of the day, it's a cabinet that holds tools. You know, I ordered that, was it Extreme toolbox to start with? And I was kind of in a rush because I needed a bigger box like ASAP. So they sold me the display through that. There was a place up in New Jersey or New York, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was called. Yeah. But super cool people. Probably one of the nicest companies I've ever dealt with as far as calling. And I told him the situation I'm in. I'm like, look, I sold my box. I need a toolbox like now. Like right now I need a toolbox. He's like, okay, what do you want? I said, I want the 72-inch with a hutch, stainless top. He said, I got one. The only problem is, well, he had a black one. I wasn't going to have a black one. I wanted a blue one. So, yeah, New Hampshire. Damn, Matthew, you got a good memory. Smart. So anyway, he said, I've got the demo box that I have here in my showroom. If you want it, there's nothing wrong with it. We'll put it on a pallet and we'll ship it to you. I said, cool. It was $3,500. I think it was like 36 and some change. It wasn't much over 3,500. So he's gonna have it in like 4 days. I'm like, man, that's awesome. Get her coming. You know, paid for it all over credit card, by the phone, blah blah blah. So the truck backs up here. It would come on a Saya truck, and when he backs up to the door, I looked up in there, and the hutch had fell over. It was laying like this. Well, it hit the front of the hutch and messed it up. I was like, well, shit, that's my luck. I thought, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll take pictures. They can send me another hutch. We'll get the box. Problem still solved. Yeah, the box, they had molested it with the forklift, and rammed the shit out of it. So it had two big old forklift stabs in the back of it. So I called the guy and he's like, don't sign for it, make them bring it back. No big deal. I can order you another one, but it'll be like they was waiting on the shipment to come in or something. It was gonna be like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, man, I don't have that time. So I called Hamilton. I said, I need a box. I want a blue one, blah, blah, blah. He had this box. He sent me pictures of it, brought it the next Friday. So, but I think I would have been just as satisfied with that Extreme box. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a nice box.
Yeah, that hutch was nice too.
It was what?
The hutch.
Yeah. See, I'm not really a hutch guy. I think a top box would be better than a hutch because at the end of the day, Bill, he don't have any more storage than I do. He's still got 72 inches. That's it. Of course, he's got a back wall and all that. But damn, I got an 80 by 120, you know? Like, I think a top box would be a better, like a hutch looks nice. It really does. And when you put a light and stuff like that in it, it looks good. But I just don't think, for what Snap-on charges for a hutch, I think Bill paid $4,500 for the hutch. No, I wouldn't pay that much for a hutch. There's no way. Not me. I agree with that. You know, if people are stealing stuff on your box or off your box, you're working in the wrong place. But I mean, there's probably times that guys have to work in those environments. Yeah, those Extreme boxes they're really nice for the money. All right, Matthew. Glad y'all stopped in. But now I'm ready to make the long trip across the shop with all my tools, get on them and put up. And then I'm hoping my lovely bride is going to go home like perfect evening at my house. And this happens a lot, and I'm not just kidding, and I'm not just saying it because she's here. Well, there's a lot of days I go in, I go to the bedroom, I empty my pockets, I hang my coat up, get all the crap out of my pockets, and I will walk in there and just flop in the recliner. And usually within about 5 minutes, I may just, like I don't turn the TV, I'm not the guy that flops down and turns the TV on. I usually just sit there and chill for a little bit. And usually, by the time I get situated right, she comes bring me one of those ice cold aluminum bottles of Michelob over there. And then usually, not far behind that's a plate of supper, which is awesome. And then it's time to take a shower and go to bed. But that's like the perfect night for me. The perfect night. Dang, dude, what's up with that gas and the juice? You just got banned, Hoss. You gone. I ain't got a problem with Jews or anybody else. I don't care. I don't care what you do, as long as it don't affect me. Don't care who you into or who you ain't into. Don't bring your shit over here. I don't care what race, creed, religion, color, beliefs. It don't bother me. As long as you don't be pushing that shit on somebody else. That's like string bean. I'd get mad at string bean if he told me, hey man, you need to go get some sardines and squirt some pudding on them and eat them. I'd be like, man, keep your pudding and your sardines over there.
He wouldn't be suggesting that. It'd be something really nasty.
But I love string bean. And y'all haven't watched his videos. Like, I'm bad. Like, when I'm in a bad mood, and this has happened several times.
He's telling the truth, too.
Shit ain't going right. It's a bad mood. I'm ill. Like, you guys have been there and know what I'm talking about. Like, you're working on something, it just won't go in, or the bolt just won't start, or whatever, and you get frustrated, so frustrated you ready to blow something up. This is my therapy. And String Bean, I owe it all to you. I come over here to this computer, right here, and I will click on YouTube, and I go to String Bean's channel, and I will watch him eat the Jelly Bean Challenge. I don't know what it is about String Bean eating nasty food that puts a smile on my face. But it does, and I love it. Here's the one drawback I have with tub of towels. After they dry, you see on the chrome how it's got that little bit of haziness. You have to wipe it back off with a dry rag, and then she's all shiny again. But that makes my day right there, is watching String Bean. Like, the brains and eggs is pretty good, but my favorite one is the Bean Boozled ones. I love watching the String Bean Boozled Challenge. There's nothing better ever. Like, String Bean, if you want to get me something for Christmas, this is what I need you to do. You can save all them videos and put them on a DVD. And that way, if I don't have no internets and I need to get in a better mood, I can pop a DVD in and watch you eating the boogers and the canned dog food jelly beans. Because if y'all hadn't seen that, trust me on this one. If you never listen to anything I tell you, go to String Bean's channel and watch his Bean Boozled Challenge. Because it's well worth it. It is very worth it. String Bean, you need to put a link to that in here, and that way everybody can click on it and go to your channel and watch it. Because it's great. Oh, Carlton, it's funny. Like, I've watched it at least 20 times. And like, I've recorded us laughing at him and put it on like Instagram, because like everything stops in here and we watch String Bean. And I really think Wally has a secret crush on you, String Bean, because he likes to watch you do the I think it's called, this one's for the ladies, where you're running around in the
kilt
Playboy
and the Playboy blanket.
Yeah, like a cape.
So, String Bean, did you delete the... Oh, no, it was one of them.
What?
He accidentally deleted it. He went in to delete the Funkos, and he hit delete on everything. It's gone.
Damn it, String Bean. You gonna have to go to Walmart and buy another sack of them rotten egg jelly beans. That right there is like the highlight when I'm low. Like, you're my Xanax or Prozac or whatever the drug is to make you feel better. Andy in here?
Mm-hmm.
Andy, I know you're a Milwaukee guy. I know you're a Milwaukee guy. Let me see if I can get it to play. I'll show y'all on here, because some of y'all may not. I'm planning on putting it on Instagram later. But, you can see it turning. You see it turning. Like, it only hammered a few seconds, and it started, it may have hammered 5 seconds, and then it started breaking it loose and coming off it. That, my friends, is impressive with a 1/2-inch drive. In fact, very impressive. Because that bitch was rusty. This truck's been up north its whole entire life. That thing was crusty. I'm talking about like bad. That's a bad impact. They're gonna sell them at Napa, Dick. They don't have them out yet. They're supposed to be out the end of December, first part of the new year. Yeah, it's a yolk nut, Andy. They're tough. Yeah, string bean. You need to do the Bean Boozle thing. Yeah, you do, Dick. It's a Napa truck, you ding dong. You just call them and bring your shit to your shop. There you go. Done. They'll bring you anything straight from the Napa truck. Anything. Kimber started crawling.
Said her first word. I said, was it Snap-on or Clay?
She gonna be into everything now. But that's when they're fun right there. When they start crawling and like you can chase them and they try to crawl faster to get away from you. That's when it's fun.
It was Dada.
Dada. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
James is on top.
Yep. That is really cool. Why was he mad? I'd be like, yeah, she said something. He was going to send a picture of dinner, but that's frowned upon. What?
He's out of the country.
Oh. Wow. Ugh. String bean, that's gross. Yeah, you need to do the Bean Boozled challenge again because I want to see that. Like that was so fun. I liked it. Like, that was good. That was good. That was not too bad. And when you get a bad one, it was that look on your face. It was like priceless, priceless. I don't know. Like our vacation is going to McDonald's and eating, or we might go to Memphis and eat. Everything we do revolves around food. I like to eat.
It's the only amount of time we've got to get away is to go eat a meal.
Yep. I love the Matco modded ratchet. I've actually got several of the Snap-ons that have the 1/4 inch body with a 3/8 head on them. Like here was the first one I had done. It's the long one. And then I've got a small one like this. These all was pre-Wally. I actually forgot about those until I was on the Matco truck Friday and we were talking about it. But the thing is, here's my thing. With a Snap-on, the advantage of the 1/4 inch body is the little bitty head and getting it in tight spots. Right there. If they made the lock up here where it wouldn't be hitting on crap, might be a bigger fan. I've got the non-locking flex head that we use from Snap-on, and it's great. But I really just don't like a non-locking ratchet. If it just flops around, I just don't like it. Like, I want it to lock because it seems like every time you're pulling pressure, like you got it up in here and you're pulling on it, it wants to walk around. And it's usually in a tight spot and you're gonna end up hitting your hand is what's gonna happen. I agree, Rust Belt. The Matco is a way better design with the lock and flex in it. Way better. It's out of the way. Let me go get one and I'll show you. Because it's hard to explain. So here's the snap-on one. It's the flex head with the 3/8 head and a 1/4" body. Great ratchet. And I've got it tightened down as tight, like I thought I was gonna break the screw, and it's still kind of floppy. If you're putting down anything on it, it's gonna wobble around. I just don't like that. And here is the Matco with a 3/8 head. I'll show you with this one because it's easier. A lot of times you'll be up in somewhere and you'll be like, I need to reverse it. I have grabbed this. Of course, it's unlocked. But say you got it locked. That would be in the same position as off. Okay? So you're like, I need to tighten it. You'll flip that and you're still going in the wrong direction. I wish there was a more, like, you can tell the difference if you're really paying attention. But like if you're just reach up in there and flick it with your finger, you'll sometimes try to forward and reverse the lock button. So, and this has become my go-to ratchet that I use all the time. I use this ratchet 99% of the time for everything. But I love that ratchet. And I never would have thought that I would have liked it as well as I did. Because when I first got it, I didn't like the handle as well. I was used to the snap-on handle. So I was used to this grip. But after using it, I actually found this grip to be even more comfortable. So, I don't know, it's just personal preference, I guess. Everybody's got their favorites, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like if a Mac ratchet is your thing, hey man, wrench away with your Mac ratchet, you know. If a Proto's your ratchet, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm glad there's that many different options that we have instead of just one or two. That's a great thing for all of us. And it's something good that YouTube allows us to do because, you know, we can share our opinions on what we like or what we don't like, and that may keep a guy from spending $150 on this ratchet when the snap-on may be the ratchet he likes better. So that's a good thing. My bent handle ratchet, I did get one of the Black Ratchets wrist belt. I bought the green handle on mine. My bent handle is non-locking. And the very first time I used this, I was in a spot where I thought, man, that bent handle ratchet would be perfect. Real tight where I needed to get up in there. Guess what I did? Bam! Poked a bolt right through the center of my finger, right there. I still got the scar from that. So this ratchet has laid his happy ass in his drawer ever since that very day. That's where he's lived. And this ratchet is almost the same way. I have tightened this screw and tightened this screw and tightened this screw till it's almost stripped. So it wouldn't be as wobbly. But I'm not a fan of these at all. I've got one. I do not like it at all. That is my second most hated ratchet. My first most hated ratchet, and I've got the 3/8 version somewhere. Like, I disliked it so much, I didn't even put it in the phone drawer. It's the Snap-on. This is the T0. I have the F0 too somewhere. But I thought I would like, because I love smooth ratchets. Like, that's my favorite. Love smooth ratchets. I thought, man, this is the one I'm looking for right here. my OCD makes me miss the clicks. I miss the clicks. Like I can't tell when you can't look at it, you can't tell by hearing if you're moving, if that makes sense. Now, if you can see it, yeah, you can see the back turning as you crank it. But if you can't see, you can't tell if it's working. And that is my thing. But I thought this would be like the greatest ratchet ever. Nope. So I didn't even cut out the 3/8, and I don't even know where it's at. I have no clue where it's at. Don't really even care. You know, it's kind of like the dog that bites everybody. If he runs off, you don't really worry about it. Man, I got burnt on Craftsman ratchets a long. I don't even know if I've still got that ratchet in here. I bought a Craftsman set when I was like 15-year-old. It was the set like this, USA made. Okay, y'all know the 3/8 ones I'm talking about. The same clunky design. Well, I had ended up stripping the head out in it. As you can see, this is a fine tooth ratchet here. Fine. Anyway, it's the same design as this ratchet. Now, granted, it took me a long time to ever strip it out. I did strip it out eventually. We took it back to Sears. This was before we even knew Sears was thinking about going out of business. Well, they didn't have a rebuild kit for it. And I really hated to give it up because it actually had USA on it. It was the first ratchet set that I purchased with my own money. And I had my initials engraved in it, just like this one. So, the guy had to swap it out. Well, he gives me one. It's like a Chinesium one. And like, this one's actually smooth here where that, rib panel is. It's not sharp. The one he gave me, but it ain't even finished. It was all crappy. It sucked. Like, sucked worse than the original one to suck, and it sucked bad enough. But it sucked. I didn't even use that ratchet. I don't even know where that ratchet's at. Like, I'd been better off just keep the stripped out one. At least it would have been a USA made. But I will show y'all, like, out of all the ratchets that I own, and I've got a bunch of them, there's only one. I own two that I consider to be priceless tools that there's no amount of money could buy these two tools. The rest of them, if somebody come in here and robbed me tomorrow, oh well, Snap-on's still making tools, Matco's still making tools, no big deal. But I own two tools that is absolutely 100% priceless to me. Like if they stole all my shit and they left this tool, this ratchet, and this socket in the floor, I wouldn't even get pissed. Like, I'd be upset because all my shit got stolen. But these are the only two items that I cannot, for no amount of money, ever be able to replace. And I will tell y'all a quick little story about these two. My uncle was a diesel mechanic. He taught diesel mechanics at the Votech here, and he taught tractor repair. He was a big international tractor guy. He knew anything and everything about tractors. Like, people come from miles around for him to work on their tractors. He was extremely good. When I was young, about 8-year-old, I would go with him, and they had an adult Votech class, an adult vocational class. And he taught during the day, and at 8 o'clock that night, or maybe at 6, I think it was 6 o'clock that night, he had a class strictly for adults. It was 4 hours a night, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So at 8 year old, 8 to 10, I was fascinated by this man. He could fix anything. Him and my dad are the only two guys. I don't give a damn if you got a light switch shorted, a TV broke, a telephone tore up, or an engine tore apart, they could fix it. Like, they was the only two men that no matter what you got, he could fix. They could fix it. So I was fascinated by big tractors like any kid would be. And so I would go with him to this adult vocational class. And at 8 year old, I got my first USA made ratchet. And it's a bluegrass, 1/2 inch drive, comfort grip. Now I don't use this ratchet anymore, and I haven't used it. He got sick probably about 2 years before he passed away. And when he started getting sick was the last time I actually used this ratchet. It still works great, super smooth, nice ratchet. But that is my most favorite out of all the ratchets I own. This one is absolutely priceless. It's probably one of the cheaper ratchets that I own, especially since Bluegrass is no longer in business. Other than sentimental value, it's pretty much scrap iron to the rest of the world. But to me, that's a priceless ratchet. So, my next most valuable tool is this socket. It's just a cheap, no-name spark plug socket. My dad gave me this. I just learned how to write cursive in school, so whatever grade that is, 3rd, 4th grade, whatever. Like, I'm not even talking about like legible cursive, like you got the piece of paper with the 2 lines and a little dotted line in the middle, that kind of cursive. You're still learning how to make the loops go all the way up to the center line. So I would help him work on cars. He flipped a few cars and stuff like that. So I would help him work on cars. And when I learned how to write cursive, I went in the shop that afternoon and was writing on a wooden table, and he's like, hey, what you need to do is get an engraver and engrave one of these tools. I'll give you a tool, and that way you can have, start your own tool collection. So that right there is where he engraved my name on it, because I was afraid I would mess it up. And he engraved his name on this side. So, and I actually used this plug socket up until about 4 months ago, and it's stripped out and won't take a plug out anymore. But I used this socket on every spark plug job that it would fit. This was my go-to spark plug socket. It was a good feeling to open my box and just have a little bit of him with me, So, but those, everybody always asks, what's my favorite ratchet? That's my favorite ratchet. And that is by far my most favorite of all the tools. Number 1 and number 2. But anyway, I guess I have kept enough of y'all's time today. We're bumping 65 minutes now. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, hanging out with me, shooting the crap, and cleaning up some tools. Like always, guys, thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up. We will catch you guys next time. Y'all, have a great one.